Building off the drama of last week's exciting battle in Worcester between Kawasaki riders Tyler Bowers, Michael McDade, and Zach Ames, we bring you the next round of exciting AmSoil Arenacross action from Baltimore, Maryland. Right now on Speed. Welcome into an excited first Mariner Arena here in Baltimore, Maryland. Welcome, everyone. I'm Robbie Floyd alongside the champ, Grant Langston. If week number 2 is anything like week number 1, it's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. Last weekend, we were treated to some great racing. The dirt tonight, a lot different. That's going to mix things up. And we've got a couple new faces this weekend. So this championship's going to be turned upside down.
Speaking of new faces, our partner, Chrissy Lee, she'll be giving you all the scoop, what's happening down on the floor. Chrissy, welcome to Arenacross.
It's great to be here for another weekend of intense racing. While you guys are up on the booth, I'm down on the podium with rider interviews after every race.
Thanks, Christy. Now, looking at the format for AmSoil Arenacross, we have heat races, last chance qualifiers, and mains. We're bringing you a lot more racing action this weekend.
Well, that's great. You know, like you said, a lot more racing, 2 main events. They've cut the laps in half, but it's going to be intense. And that bracket racing, it's a winner-take-all, one valuable point. But at the end of the season, we've seen championships won and lost by 1 point. Very important.
A very exciting track here in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's take a look at it. Daniel Blair with a GoPro track preview.
And down the start straightaway, click 3rd gear. Maybe keep it in 3rd gear on the first corner. Over the step up, into the whoops. Nice set of whoops. Seat bounce, the rhythm section. Over the table, getting 3 out right here as well. Over the catapult jump. Some of the young guys might throw a whip. I like to keep it straight. Turn onto the start straightaway. And that's your lap.
So that's the GoPro track preview. They raced the same track last night. Let's take a look at the second main event. Zach Ames on the outside, number 4 on the Kawasaki. His teammate actually starting in the 2nd row after an 8-rider inverted field, Tyler Bowers, but Zach Ames with a great start.
Yeah, Zach Ames took the early lead, followed by Nathan Skaggs. Unfortunately, Zach Ames has some problems of his own as he goes down, washing the front end out before the whoops, getting up, remounting deep in the pack, handing the lead over to Skaggs, who's being followed by McDade really closely. In fact, a little too close right there. And Tyler Bowers sneaking up into the picture. McDade dives up the inside of Skaggs, but unable to make the pass stick. But Bowers, however, is able to get around McDade on the very next lap and go after Nathan Skaggs, who he pushes out of the way to take the lead and rode a solid main event, taking the win and the overall for the evening.
So a solid night for the Babbitt's Kawasaki rider Tyler Bowers, and we take a look at the AmSoil Arenacross points as they are right now. Bowers with 92, 8-point advantage over McDade, Ames 14 back, but really the top 3 separating themselves from the rest of the field. You only get 16 points for a main event win, and one particular name missing in the top 10 is newcomer Tyler Villapoto. He's the younger brother of Monster Energy Supercross champion Ryan Villapoto. He'll be racing here tonight with some extra support on his side. Let's go down to Chrissy with more.
Thanks, Robbie. Here with Dan Villapoto, father of the Villapoto brothers. Both of your sons racing this weekend, West Coast and East Coast. Ryan's out in Phoenix, and here we are for round 2 of AmSoil Arenacross in Baltimore, Maryland, and you're here supporting Tyler.
Yeah, it's great to be here at AmSoil Arenacross, and Tyler's going to race tonight. And I'm real proud of both my sons, and Ryan's in Phoenix, and I wish them all a lot of luck.
We all can't wait to see how Tyler Villapoto does at his AmSoil Arenacross debut on Speed when we come back to Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah! Mountain ATVMC.com. Maximum selection, minimum prices. Welcome back to Baltimore, Maryland for AmSoil Arenacross featuring Ricky Carmichael's Road to Supercross. The action is about to get started with heat race number 1. Let's take a quick look at it. Our K&N starting grid. Zach Ames definitely has to be the one to look for, one of our top qualifiers in the day qualifying portion but also Robbie Marshall, very aggressive last night.
You know, Robbie's always been an aggressive rider. I love his style. It's a go for it, you know, winner take all type of mentality with him. So looking forward to that. Garrett Steinke a little further down on the list there.
Frederick Noren, another one to look at on the second page. He was fast. He qualified for a main event. Had, you know, some tough times, some penalties at night number 1 or last week. Now trying to correct things here for Baltimore. One of the things to look at, even though he has first pick on the gate, look at Zach Ames. He doesn't want that very inside gate. He doesn't want to get closed off, does he?
You know, I think part of it, too, is if you look on the very inside, there's a lot of, like, gravel and rocks and things like that. So maybe he thought just going one gate over would allow him a cleaner line.
We have to watch out for ourselves because we're actually just behind the starting gate. There is some roost here in Baltimore.
We've experienced that already.
All right, looks like we're having a hold for one of the riders. Again, 2-minute hold, but everything is set, ready to go.
Heat number 1 action.
Heat race number 1, I know it.
I'm excited.
This is nervous time, isn't it, the first race of the night?
Oh, absolutely. You know, guys have gone home. They've made, you know, bike modifications. Maybe they changed the way they prepared for this event. The dirt's a lot different. They probably learned a lot from last week and the mistakes. The 30-second card is up.
A lot of heavy sideways. All eyes on the gate. Who's going to get the whole shot? Watch out for the number 4, but it's actually from the far outside getting to start sweeping around the outside. The Kawasaki.
The
726. Jared Steinke gets stuffed there.
That was pretty aggressive. None of our heavy hitters up near the front at the moment.
And crossing in midair, saving that one. Steinke very aggressive. And here comes McDade on the inside, 200.
McDade was at the right place at the right time and said, thanks, guys. Now Ames sneaking into the picture. Coming to these whoops are going to get tougher as the night goes on. You can see guys struggling a little bit.
The Rocket Valley Kawasaki, Mike McDade, very strong on the start. He actually is second in Amsoil Arenacross points. You see trying to work his way up through the field. The number 4 now, Ames.
Yep. Ames getting around, Willard there in the mix.
And Ames has been very strong so far in this 2013 season on the Babbitt, Monster Energy, Amsoil Kawasaki. Going to set up this outside, see if he makes the move. He's kind of knocking on the door, but he doesn't want to make that pass just yet.
I predict that he's going to get Steinke in the whoops and slap. He's coming in with more momentum, and these whoops you have to commit. They come into the section here. You've got to downside to step up nicely and drive in. Watch Ames. Wrong side, though, so he wasn't able to sneak it up the inside using that alternate line. See how this pans out. I mean, they're pretty equal. I mean, they look completely different, but
coming up a little short right there. Zach Ames. Now he's set up to make the pass. We'll see if Steinke gives it to him, tries diving under. No. Now Zach Ames has to look ahead and say, can I catch up to that 200? Also, remember, to qualify for the head-to-head bracket race, you need to finish in the top 4 in your heat race.
Exactly. They take 8 riders, and that's for that bracket race we were talking about, for that very important 1 point. That was a nice pass that Ames did there. Just spun the back around, got the power to the ground, and off he went. As we see,
these are only 8-lap heat races, very short. Main events just a few laps longer at 12.
I know. They go by so fast. As you see, McDade, he's got just enough of a comfortable lead. I think he's got this race under control at the moment. Ames now sitting in second. Steinke, and then a big battle here. And Marshall now coming in the picture as he gets around. Big battles going on as McDade just enjoying it out front. He's probably thankful.
Straightaway lead.
Yeah.
Over Zach Ames, Steinke third. You mentioned Daniel Blair, Jeff Gibson in 5, Marshall 6, and Magus in 7. Only the 7 top riders move on directly to main event number 1 and 2.
And if we're looking at the lap times even, I mean, these guys are like literally some of them 100th of a second apart per lap. So, I mean, super tight. Ames now taking a big chunk out of McDade's lead. I think maybe lap traffic had a little bit to do with it.
Oh, little Jeff Ward action. Left foot sticking out, making the left-hand turn.
There you go.
Kind of reminds me of the old number 4. I think that had to be, what, 1985 with 40?
When I was in diapers.
Yeah. I like how this line right there, though, the outside you can triple out, but also if you go inside, like I said, they're very equal on time as we see the white flag coming out. One more lap to go.
You want to downside that tabletop because then you can triple out. You see guys, if they don't do it clean, they don't get it. McDade now on his last lap, losing a little bit of time in the woods. Because now look, Ames gets real close, and he's unable to do that. But he's smart, protects it inside.
Ames, he doesn't have to double again.
Hey, he was smart.
One gate pick. Don't take yourself out, heat race.
You know, he was smart. He knew he didn't have to do the double because it was a checkered flag, so he hugged the inside, protected it, and took Zach's line away at the exit, so he couldn't do it.
A strong run for Mike McDade, holding off Zach Ames in heat number 1. As we take a look at heat race number 1 results, only a 22-second lap time, but Mike McDade comes out on top of Ames, Steinke, and Blair. Jeff Gibson, Robbie Marshall, and Stephen Magis qualify for the main event. Michael Willard's going to have to ride the last chance qualifier. Mike McDade, what a run. Congratulations on the heat race win. Cutting it a little close that last time through the whoops.
Yeah, I hit neutral. It got a little sketchy. I actually hit somebody over there on the last lap also. It got real close, but I pulled it off, so I'm happy.
Hey, Michael Grant here. What do you think those whoops are going to be like by the end of this evening?
They're they're getting cupped out now, so I can only imagine what they're going to be like later. There's a lot of riding still to do before the main, and I think I'll be good in them, so I'm not worried.
All right, he puts the dent in the whoops, and the second heat race coming up in just a moment. They get to face this challenging Baltimore, Maryland course as AMSOIL Arenacross continues. Maryland, we're getting ready for heat race number 2. Let's take a look at the Thor starting grid in this one. Tyler Bowers, the 2-time defending champion on the Babbitt, Monster Energy, AMSOIL Kawasaki. This Thor starting grid is a stacked line of his teammates. We get to see him for the first time, Tyler Villapoto.
I'm excited to see him. Unfortunately, he's coming back from an injury, not at 100% yet. So I expect him to be a little bit tight, a little bit rusty, but it's just good to see him back out on the track.
This looks like a stacked heat. Kelly Smith in this one, Genope also, Nathan Skaggs, Jim Neese, a longtime Arenacross rider, making his return. He says he's going to be working at FedEx in 2 weeks, but during practice, he caught my eye immediately. He knows how to blitz the whoops. He's been here a lot.
I tell you what, he impresses me for his age. You know, the guy's been around a long time. I remember when I was a kid watching him, so.
Almost 40 years old. He says, my Arenacross career is just about done, but I'm going to try and make it here in 2013, only about a 6-hour drive from North Carolina.
Oh, here we go.
Watch Bowers, he's on the number 1 on the inside. His teammate just beside him, Villapoto, gets cut off just a little bit. And it looks like Nathan Skaggs with the start.
Yep, Skaggs. But watch Bowers, he's good in the woods. Comes up on the inside. Oh, a little cross jumping, man. With these tracks being so tight, that could be so dangerous on these opening laps. Green flag out. Racing continues. Oh, Villapoto sneaking up the inside. You know what? He actually looked like his brother right there in that turn. I swear. I thought I was watching Ryan.
Yeah, watch his style through the whoops. It's kind of a very light but a tall rider, about 5'11", but only 140 pounds.
Yeah. So basically, I'm short and stubby then, right?
Here we go. Block pass. He still gives him room.
Yeah. No, that was very polite, and I think Neese knew that he had to pretty much roll over and give that one. Got to carry that momentum.
Sorry about that. Drops back to second. Tyler Bowers said he has a new mentality for 2013. Said he's not going to be quite as aggressive or abusive, I guess you would say.
Yeah, he made it sound like, you know, maybe he was taking things too seriously, or, you know, he was getting a bad rap for, you know, over-aggressive riding, whatever it may be. But that's his personality. He's just a hard-charging guy. And like I said, I know I might be repeating myself, but there's also a reason why he's got the #1 plate on that bike and the points leader for 2013.
Tyler Villapoto, you see him back in third, a couple of 12th place finishes last night. First time to see him at AMSOIL Arenacross. Again, the younger brother, you remember him when he was just getting his driver's license. You were teammates with his brother, the Monster Energy Supercross champion, Ryan Villapoto.
Yep. Ryan, when Ryan was a rookie, him and I rode even on the same coast, the West Coast, riding for Mitch Payton. So I've been around the Villapoto family since basically Ryan turned professional. So good family. Cool to see the little brother now out here.
David Genope trying to stay inside that top 12 or top 7. Excuse me.
Watch Genope through the whoops. figured out a way that I think he's jumping in like 3 and then 3 and out. So he's, instead of trying to skim him, he's basically tripling through them. Pretty, you know what's good about that is 1, it's consistent, and 2, you actually use less energy.
Ginolfi trying to get into that top 4 so he can run the bracket race a little later, the head-to-head matchup. Only the top 4 go there. Top 7 move on to the main event.
Oh, yeah. You want to be in that top 4 to give yourself a chance, and basically a bonus point. Like I said, you rack up a few bonus points, you'll be happy.
How strong is the 731 of Steve Roman running? I saw him in practice at Hillview Motorsports in the Blood Tattoo Suzuki. First time we get to see him, he's looking very fast.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say the same thing. I don't know a lot about this guy, but he's impressing me. Hanging in there, you know, basically keeping Ginolfi honest and all over Skaggs. So, I mean, can't judge a guy by his number.
And he's set up. He's not settling for 4th. He's trying to make a pass into 3rd. Look at the outside.
Look at that. Flat track style.
Flat track Willie. Can he hold on? He's going to be in a better line here in the whoops.
Who carries the momentum? Unfortunately, he's on the outside. Ginolfi now sneaking, using that alternate line. Let's see how. Saw that one coming. Holy smoke, that was close.
Going down, still in qualifying position. Got to pick it up, finish in that top 7. Nathan Skaggs
still went for the double. Oh my goodness.
And getting hung up there, Kyle White. He was right around the bubble as well.
That just went from bad to worse right there.
Well, the white flag turns to checkered as Tyler Bowers takes another heat race win, a 22.5-second lap. Tyler Villapoto going to have his debut in Amsoil Arenacross here on speed in 2nd. Steve Roman, strong 3rd.
Digging that. I like seeing the new faces up there. Kelly Smith there sneaking in.
Looking at the Rocky Mountain ATV results behind Roman, you see Ginolfi taking that head-to-head bracket push. Maybe we'll see him take another point tonight.
Yeah, Bowers looking solid as usual. Villapoto, nice to see him up there. Nathan Skaggs sneaking in. Unfortunately, Jimmy Neese.
Jimmy's going to have to ride the last chance qualifier. Let's go over to Tyler Bowers. Tyler kind of ran away with that one a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I got off to a good start and try to keep the pressure on Skaggs and try to get by him. I was hoping in the whoops, and that's kind of where I stuck it at. And, everything's been good out there tonight, and the track's good. They got a little bit more traction in the track tonight, and I'm just excited for the main event.
Hey, Tyler, Grant, yeah, that was actually going to be my question. How is the grip? Because it looks tacky, but you see some places it gets shiny underneath.
Yeah, the dirt here in Baltimore, it's always been weird. It's kind of it feels like you're riding on plastic, like literally. It looks kind of like shiny, and it might be tacky, but it's really hard packed and slick. So last night it was really dry, and the track crew did a good job tonight. They've been watering it all day, which is surprisingly the ingredient to get it to tack up a little bit.
Well, good to know. Good luck for the main event, buddy.
Yeah, good job on that run. Tyler Bowers takes heat race number 2. We still have plenty more racing action here in Baltimore for Amsoil Arenacross. We'll get to see that head-to-head matchup when we return.
America's premier.
Fans have been on their feet so far already here at Amsoil Arenacross in Baltimore, Maryland, because they've seen exciting heat race action. Now we prepare for the head-to-head bracket racing, something that many have never seen before, but it's an opportunity for the riders to show their skills one-on-one.
Absolutely. The nice thing here is they take the top 4 riders from each heat race. Your total race time determines your seed. So in other words, the number 1 seed comes up against the number 8 seed. So it's pretty interesting, and like we've said the whole time, that one valuable point can be very crucial at the end of the season, and it makes them some good one-on-one racing.
This is a head-to-head matchup, a lot of racing. Let's skip to the semifinals where it's going to get down and dirty here really quick. So in head-to-head, number 1, this is semifinal. Mike McDade knocked off Dave Ginolfi. We have Steve Roman, who knocked off Zach Ames. The 731 was very aggressive. He's on the inside. Can he shut it down? Oh, the answer is no.
Yeah. Hey, on these short races, you got to bulldoze, because he can't let him get by. It's so hard to pass. So get it done in the beginning and hold him off.
Mike McDade, he's been fast all year in Amsoil Arenacross. He's set up on the outside. Watch for the slingshot here. It's only a 2-lap race. Checkered flag next time around. Oh, they're playing cat and mouse already.
Well, he's guarding the inside. I mean, that's the thing. When you don't have a gap, you can't leave the door open. Look, I mean, you could argue that this is
left it open.
Oh, stood him up. Hey, talk about using every inch of the track, right?
He was getting shut down in the whoops from Mike McDade.
He
showing how to get it
one.
done with no room.
He earned that one.
Tyler Villapoto knocked off Jared Steinke. Let's see who's going to match up against Mike McDade in the final.
Side by side.
Two teammates, too. You don't want to take each other out.
See how it's a little gravelly on top. You'll see sometimes they come in and all of a sudden the bike steps out from underneath them. There's some rocks and stones in this dirt.
Whoa, crossing it up. Oh, man.
I think they may have cost him right there. On these little sprints, that one little mistake is enough to just end your bracket racing for the night.
The whoops are going to tell a lot.
And that's old Bowers' strength. I mean, look at him. He's a big guy, strong guy, trains hard, and he shows in the whoops.
Still a good ride by his teammate Tyler Villapoto in his first head-to-head matchup with the #1. Nice whip, but Tyler Bowers now goes against Mike McDade, two guys who are in it for the championship. This is 1 and 2 in the points. Defending champion Tyler Bowers, Mike McDade on the outside. Look for him to shut the door. And a good start.
Yep,
he shuts the door.
That's what I said. From the outside, I think maybe it's a little tacky or whatever, because I see a lot of wheel spin from the inside gate. He has Bowers' strength.
Oh. A little rocking action from McDade. Now we'll see that in multiple lines.
That was a beautiful little pivot he did there. He squared that turn up without losing any momentum.
Now what do you do when you're McDade? You guard that inside. Yes, flat track Willie. Both of them take the inside.
Ooh, using the side of the stadium as a berm. Yeah, here it is.
Head to head.
Where it's going to be?
Oh, McDade flopping, but he's got the good line. Hold him up. Seat bounce out.
This is why I love this stuff, man. Here it is. One last time. Oh, McDade takes it. Nice.
Tyler, he wasn't too disappointed. A little hand up, little gesture. You do it to me, I'll do it to you next time. But thumbs up for the two Kawasaki's.
That was cool. The youngster and the veteran, man, going at it. Good hard racing.
Mike McDade takes the head-to-head championship here in night #2 in the valuable Amsoil Arenacross Series points. We'll be back with more right after this. Exciting night of Amsoil Arenacross here at First Mariner Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. Only 2 riders move on from this race. The DC Shoes refuse to lose LCQ, and it is just that, the last chance to qualify for tonight's main.
And we have some pretty, well-known name guys in here. We've got, Kyle White there on the inside, Michael Willard next to him, and obviously a host of other guys that really want to be in that main event. So this is also, too, where sometimes you get the best racing, when that battle for that final transfer spot, someone has to make a real desperate move on the last lap.
One of the names on the outside looking in, you'd have to think would be Michael Willard of the Moose Racing BMO KTM. He's a strong kid from Ohio. He should probably be in that main event by now, but a couple of problems in a heat race. One wobble here and there. You don't qualify in that top 7, you have to ride the LCQ.
Well, that's exactly it. When we were watching, I was getting a little excited because there was so much happening for those transfer spots, and then all of a sudden someone goes from 7th to 3rd and vice versa. Here we go.
Kyle White, number 19 on the
Willard
inside.
looks like he had
down.
Some bummer. Willard now with the whole shot. That's where he would want to be. If you're in the LCQ, you don't want to be there in the first place, but if you are, you want to be out front and try and stay away from any of the carnage.
Kyle White back in 3rd. There's the guy to watch. Only 2 can move on.
White had a little bit of bad luck. I saw him going down earlier in the heat race, so he wants a little redemption. Willard looking pretty smooth to the whoops.
Nice. And that front end a little heavy there. That wanted to take a left and a right-hand turn. There's the final transfer. The green bike is in. Right now, the red bike is out.
He got the, as Emig would like to say, the huckabuck in the whoops there. And that's what's happening. They're getting cupped out and they're spread out enough that their bikes are getting unsettled. Nice looking, he looks solid. Sometimes you see the guys go through and they look, so in control. And other times it's like, and that's what's happening. The whoops are deteriorating. And, these guys, you also see them, they're surging. Sometimes you move over 3 or 4 inches and you avoid a cup. And when I say cup, what happens is these guys are trying to skim on top. So for the folks at home that don't really understand, what it means by getting cupped out, because the wheel, they got the throttle, when the wheel's in the air, it's gaining momentum. And when it hits the whoop, it bites and it actually digs a hole. And the face of the whoop looking like a cup, where it's got a big crater in it.
is number 9.
Oh, yeah, you see there, you can see there, get a little cut, Willard's rear end starting to dance around.
So how do you correct? Say you're going to hit that. That's generally a steeper face if you're hitting that little cup, that lip. What do you do with your body or your throttle?
Well, typically what you definitely want to try and do is, you know, a lot of these guys will shift up to sometimes even 4th gear, which is surprising considering usually you probably only use 1st or 2nd for most part of the track. But that's because if you're an over rev, the front wheel dips. And the battle for 2nd getting a little tighter here. White now in the transfer spot. But, oh, Nice is looking for the inside.
Hello.
Yeah.
He's been doing this a long time, Jim Nice has. We already talked about it.
Not his first rodeo.
No, but it may be his last.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. I'd love to see this guy back here. Did you say he's 40 now?
He said, I'm about to turn 40. You know, FedEx is calling my name in 2 weeks. He's going to be driving in, delivering packages in a house near you.
Well, maybe after this transfer, he might think twice. If he gets it, White having a little look up the inside.
Bonsai moved there, but not close enough.
Exactly. Willard, nice, comfortable lead on the last lap here. Exactly what he would have hoped for.
Yeah, you want to take it easy, save some energy for that main event. Checker Black comes out. Styles just a little bit for Michael Willard. Jim Nice going to be the 2nd qualifier out of the LCQ. Unfortunately, Kyle White, Del Nicky, and the rest of the crew in the last chance qualifier, we'll have to see them at the next stop at Grand Rapids. The main events when we return.
Play the big.
Welcome back to Baltimore, Maryland. And Mike McDade has been the man to beat so far tonight as we take a look at the Monster Energy starting grid.
Michael McDade there, getting the first gate pick. Tyler Bowers, those two guys bring the heat races. Zach Ames looking strong. Tyler Villaphoto there.
5 Kawasaki's in the top 8. Looking at the back page, Daniel Blair, Willie Browning, Robbie Marshall looks strong. Don't count him out. Also Nathan Skaggs for the 14th qualifier. This is a very quick Arenacross main event. Amsoil Arenacross went from a one main event format where you were racing for 25 laps now to a 2 main event format. Total points paying in each main event, only a 12-lap race.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a sprint, like we said before, but with two main events, you know, it can go either way. You know, we might see some really mixed up results with the guy going 5-1 for a podium.
Look at your starting gate. Tyler Villaphoto on the very inside. If he gets a good start, expect him to take a right-hand turn into Jeff Gibson. Tyler Bowers, 3rd from the inside. Ames, a very good starter, 4th from the inside, number 4.
Here we go.
McDade with a whole shot, number 200.
He's making, and a couple guys get tangled in the first turn. Not sure who that was.
So that means that they're going to get caught up in lappers much earlier now, unless they can get things sorted out quickly.
Yeah.
Sidus Kawasaki and McDade out in front.
I think Genofi now moving into 2nd.
Villaphoto was, unfortunately, out of 200 in front, as yellow flag still being waved by the riders down in the first turn. There's Tyler Villaphoto.
Looks like his bike's interlocked with Robbie Marshall.
We're starting to see some wheel tapping through the whoops instead of that blitz mode.
Yeah, no, different options now. You can see that's what I was saying earlier, is these whoops are changing. It's an evolving thing. They're breaking down and getting cupped out, so guys are searching, you know, for different options, different lines.
David Genofi, only the number 8 qualifier on the KMS Mendigo Pickles machine, in 2nd place right now. Rider number 14. See the seat balanced by Garrett Stanky. The 726 back and forth. Oh, there comes our number 1 place.
Nice. Aggressive but clean. Getting around Skaggs there, so that'll move Bowers up into 6th place. So not a great start for him, but he's putting the charge on him.
Daniel Blair has the number 1 on the inside. Tyler Bowers gives him some room. There's still time. Only 4 laps complete.
McDade making life easy on himself, getting that good start. Bowers there. That was a perfect move up the inside, because what happens is sometimes these guys give too much room. It allows another rider to square it back underneath him or go the long way around. Bowers basically rode up to him and left him with no choice. Very smart. You can tell it's a student veteran right there.
Mike McDade starting to pull away. David Genofi 2nd. Zach Ames in 3rd. Jarrett Steinke, just ahead of the number 1 of Tyler Bowers. Steinke with a hard get-off last night, and there goes Bowers. He'll close it and moves up into the top 4 now. His teammate Zach Ames next on the list.
Bowers is strong. You know who he reminds me of? Bowser from Mario Kart 3.
Why is that? Elbows up?
Big, strong guy, and he'll just ride over you, basically, if you're in the way.
Well, right now, Mike McDade's starting to look more like Super Mario as he is pulling away. 22.0 second lap time for Mike McDade. He is pulled away from Zach Ames, and we know how fast Zach is. Mike McDade trying to make up valuable championship points.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we saw, you know, in the bracket race, he chipped away at 1 point. I mean, you know, little baby steps moving forward. And like I said, this is his first full season in the Arenacross class. So I mean, I don't want to call him a rookie because he raced Arenacross and he won the Light Series last year. But in this class, you know, the big dogs, this is his first full season.
Zach Ames now into second. You see the 14. KTM has Tyler Bowers on it. Dave Ginobili, he can hear him now. He can feel Tyler Bowers now.
You see the complete different styles in the week there. You know, if he hopping through, he has Bam Bam Bowser coming up the inside. See, once again, just pushing the guys wide and not really getting them in the option. Just square back underneath. Very smart.
Ginobili had a really good drive. It looked like he maybe be able to do it, but wasn't able to shut the door quick enough.
Well, Bowers was also on the inside, so, you know, he probably didn't want to drive into the deep because he knew when you're on the outside, the guy on the inside is going to push you wide.
10 laps complete, only a couple more remain. Mike McDade, the 200. Spotlight will be coming out shortly on him. The number 4, Zach Ames, has now taken the lead. Zach Ames just then takes the lead. It looks like, is that another rider down? Is that Villapoto? Yes.
Man, he's having a rough main event.
White flag out. Last lap here at Arenacross in another pass.
Mike McDade. Oh, did he?
He gets by. Now he's going to be riding defensive, and he knows he's got to guard every inside. And here comes the first left-hander.
I think he's got it. He's just got to be smart here. What a ride, man.
Takes that inside line, says, you're not getting by me. Mike McDade with a perfect night so far. Takes the head-to-head, and main event number 1, Zach Ames in second. Bowers moves up to third, and boy, we've got a championship race on our hands.
Well, I mean, McDade's making it easier on himself by getting good starts, whereas Bowers having to come through the pack.
And as we take a look at the AMSOIL results, Mike McDade, a perfect night so far. Zach Ames in second, Bowers third. Ginobili had a top 3 for so long. Steinke, another solid top 5.
Mike McDade on top all night tonight. We saw you take the win in Heat 1, and you also took a valuable point in the head-to-head bracket this evening. Back up on the podium this weekend here for round 2. Congrats.
Thank you. When I get on a roll, I'm on a roll. It's either a real bad night, and then I kind of turn around. But tonight I've won everything, and I want to keep it that way.
Zach Ames was on your tail pretty much throughout the entire race. We actually saw you make contact with the wall there towards the end.
Yeah, I hit it hard. I thought I broke my arm, and I went numb, so I let him go by me, and the feeling came back, and I made my move. So it was a good night. Can't wait for this next main.
So are you ready for main 2? Now that we've done the inversion here, you got the 0. What a great draw.
Yeah, I mean, I would have took anything but the 16, and I'm happy with the 0. So see how the next main goes.
Best of luck in the next event.
Thanks. I would like to thank my sponsors, Mercedes, Rocket Valley Motors and Suspension, Rip Vinyl Graphics, Super Sprox, AMSOIL Scott, Bristol Kornovic. I appreciate all your guys' help.
Mike McDade, yeah, he's all smiles, but he still has another race to go. But so far, a perfect night, 0 inverts. We'll start them just like they finished when AMSOIL Arenacross from Baltimore, Maryland returns. Been an exciting night of AMSOIL Arenacross racing here. One main event in the books, and my partner, Grant Langston, you had to go down on the track. Is this Grant Langston's line right here?
Thanks, Robbie. Yeah, you can't keep me out of the dirt. I'm here in the whoop section. As you can tell, these things are getting chewed up tonight. A lot of riders making mistakes. A lot of time to be gained and lost through here. Also uneven, and not to mention, rocks are appearing. As you can see, they're getting some blue grooves. This is blowing out, and they're all uneven. Very easy to crash. A lot of passing will happen here, has happened, and will happen in the second main event. Keep your eyes out for this and watch those bikes dancing around. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Grant. The ever-changing AMSOIL Arenacross track. When we talk about the stars of Arenacross, one name in particular, Mike McDade, has been one of the brightest stars. We sat down with him earlier and got to find out a little bit more about him.
My first Arenacross was actually 2008 in the lights class. And I think I won the first night and got second. And I tried to do both classes, and I wasn't the best at it. I built a good base end of winter last year. And yeah, after Arenacross, I won the lights title. My biggest thing was to come into the big class this year. I actually picked up a great trainer, and we built a base. You know, worked through the year, and I got a good package deal, everything. A good motor, good suspension, a lot of good help with bikes and mental coaches. And I always had the speed to win, I thought, but I'd never let myself do it. It was like I was on a mental block where I would get so far and then I'd be like, I shouldn't be here, you know? I need to go back to fifth. I want to come back and make a statement. I don't want to, you know, ride around at third or fifth or ninth. I want to win it. You know, I always have the speed for the first, before it was like the first 6 laps or something. And, you know, I could almost pull a good enough lead to make it last to the end. And this year it's different. I'm stronger at the end. I have a lot more in me. You know, I'm a lot more aggressive than I'm showing it. So, you know, towards when it really matters, you'll see a lot different. Mike McDade.
What a really genuine, nice kid. It makes you want to root for him.
Yeah, the Baltimore crowd, they're definitely on his side. He's perfect so far tonight. We'll see if he can keep it up when we return.
America's
Baltimore, Maryland, main event number 2 about to fire things up. And Mike McDade has been the man to beat so far tonight as we take a look at the Monster Energy starting grid.
Yeah, McDade got to dodge the bullet there by pulling the case with a 0, so he's happy with that. We look down the list here. Nathan Skaggs, Michael Willard on the KTMs. And on the second page at the bottom, unfortunately, Tyler Villapoto having some bad luck in that first main event. But he gets to come out and redeem himself again.
Looking at the starting line, one rider missing right now, David Ginolfi. They just give him a 2-minute hold. He has things fired up. We'll see if he can fill into his spot. It looked like the bike fired up, then it stalled, and now they're trying to get into the line. When that 30-second board goes up, there's no turning back.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bummer right there. Obviously some mechanical issues there. They got it refired, but they cut out again. So not the way he would want to start this race, but well, in fact, he's probably not going to start the race. As we see, there's an empty gate there.
And he's sitting in 10th overall in points with 46 points so far in the 2013 AMSOIL Arenacross season. When that hits 0, it's time to fire things up. The final main event here in Baltimore.
Here we go.
McDade with a good start again and tries shutting them down.
This is like deja vu. It's working for him. That's why I say, if you're on the outside, if you get the jump, you got the best angle.
But the deja vu is not Tyler Bowers right behind you from the start. Oh, heads up.
Little packet. Oh,
here we go. Welcome to Arenacross.
Yep. Bowers said, I'm not wasting any time. Let's see. Now we're going to see, this is a good test of McDade's character. Can he hang in and fight and keep the pressure on Bowers so that he, you know, can't relax, because there's nothing worse than having someone right up your exhaust pipe the whole time.
That old adage in racing is you're not going to get by someone if you're straight behind him. McDade took that far inside. He's trying to make passes.
Exactly. See, right now he knows, hey, you know, this is still early in the race. Let me keep in touch. That's the biggest thing. Just keep him intact, and then hopefully if he makes a little bobble, you're in the right place at the right time. But there's just a couple bike lengths now between the first, you know, 4. They get a little spread out, so they're not having to protect that inside line everywhere.
These are only 12-lap main events. There's a Babbitt's Kawasaki sandwich. Zach Ames back in 3rd.
Gibson in 4th, so he's having a better start to this main.
Yep, Gibson back and forth. You see the former champion, number 2 on the Team-Based Fly Racing KTM. He's trying to get in the mix as well. Willie Browning in 5th, Nathan Skaggs in 6th.
McDade that last lap losing 3/10 to Bowers and Ames. So not quite able to hang with the pack. You know where I think he's losing his time? I believe it's a little bit further back. You're looking at some of the KTM guys. Jeff Gibson.
Willie Brown is trying to run it in there. This has not been Jeff Gibson's year so far. Not the racing Jeff Gibson I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, you know, to be blunt, it's been very mediocre. I mean, and when I say that, it's because I think we all expect a lot from him.
While these two go at it, we've got a tight battle up near the front as Tyler Bauer's starting to pull away. Zach Ames, actually one of the quickest riders on the track, is all over the number 200 of Mike McDade. Look at the gap there. There's the number 1, your leader. Just behind him is McDade and Ames in his back pocket, number 4.
I think what's happening is McDade's got so used to running that left side of the whoops that I believe the right side now is actually a little bit faster because I think the whoops are blowing, you know, they're getting broken down, so they're actually getting a little bit smaller. They get like a V, and hopefully this is the inexperience of someone like McDade. You know, he's seen Bowers blow by him on the right-hand side, and I think he's just so comfortable going on the left that he doesn't want to change it up, but he's losing ground.
Would you change it up?
I would. If I saw someone come by me on the opposite side of the whoops, I would definitely at least explore it, one option.
Look at it, the 200 holding position, but Zach Ames takes the outside and the lead, and he keeps that inside line once again.
And it looks like there's getting a little nasty kick there somewhere because you can see the bike on about the 3rd or 4th whoop just suddenly will kick out of line, you know, get a little sideways.
You talked about it just a moment ago in between main events. The track is always changing. You have to make those adjustments right now. Ames has made adjustments. He's turning in quick lap time, almost matching Tyler Bauers.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you could throw a blanket on these guys. Is that Filippoto getting lapped? I think it is.
And as the number 1 works his way into more lap traffic, Zach Ames is coming closer and closer to Tyler Bauers.
As this track gets rougher, I think, you know, you can see the strength of Bowers, you know, and his ability to just navigate those whoops, almost seeming effortlessly.
White flag is out, signifying 1 more lap to go. Tyler Bauers with a second in that first main is leading right now. That would give him the overall victory for the night. Mike McDade's back in 3rd. Zach Ames looking for the 2nd overall.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, McDade obviously is trying to hold off as Bowers now coming towards the finish line.
Nice. Takes main event number 2, good enough for the overall victory tonight.
And Ames gets McDade on the last lap. So
Ames, McDade, Gibson, and Willie Browning rounding out the top 5 here in Baltimore, main event number 2. And as we look at the AMSOIL results, again, it's an overall big picture tonight, but in this main event too, Bowers, Ames, McDade, Gibson, Browning, and you turn the page, Marshall, Skaggs, Steinke, another good finish, and Steve Roman with Kelly Smith rounding out the top 10. Well, what a race tonight with Mike McDade, Tyler Bauers, Zach Ames. We'll hear from our winners when we return.
Whoa.
Of racing is over here at AMSOIL Arenacross from Baltimore, Maryland. Mike McDade comes out the overall victor. What a strong night for him. A 1 and 3 main event scores, but that bracket race, that 1 point was key. Let's go down to Christy Lee with our winner.
Tied in points with Tyler Bauers tonight, actually, but that head-to-head bracket race is what set you on top to get the overall tonight by just 1 point. Congrats.
Thanks. Yeah, it was. I didn't think I had it until I come off the track and everybody said, "Oh, you won." And yeah, it's awesome. I just, man, I'm so happy with it and my sponsors, and man, everything's going perfect so far this year.
Well, we knew it'd be exciting in Baltimore, and Baltimore did not disappoint.
Well, they didn't disappoint. Tonight's action was fantastic. Great to see McDade take his first win. Happy for that young kid winning. And he took it to Bowers in that bracket race, too. So he's not intimidated at all.
And Tyler Bauers knew coming into this season that he'd be one to beat for short stints. Now he's seeing that he can hang on for all 12 laps.
And I think part of the problem, too, is he's not a great starter, is Bowers. And you got McDade out front. And the lap times are so close that, you know, it's hard to make up that kind of real estate in that short period of time.
And his teammate, Zach Ames, who is a very good starter, he's up there as well. These three, it looks like they're the three to watch this season so far early on.
Yeah, I would have to say that. I mean, they definitely have kind of, even in the points, have separated themselves a little bit already. So they seem to be the three to keep your eye out.
As we take a look at the Amsoil Arenacross TV schedule, we move to Grand Rapids, Michigan next week. We're going to be live from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. You got to watch every week in January and February. You can always find out about Amsoil Arenacross at arenacross.com. For Grant Langston and Christy Lee, I'm Robbie Floyd. We'll see you next week from Grand Rapids.